Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. And guys, as you know, CRISPR Therapeutics is one of my favorite genomic stocks. I look at the price chart on a daily basis and I keep on wondering why the market is punishing it so much. So today I decided to take a little bit of a closer look into it and I'm going to share my findings with you. So let's get started. Welcome back, friends. I think that CRISPR Therapeutics is being treated unfairly by the market given its potential to have an approved XSL therapy for TDT and sickle cell disease potentially in 6 to 8 months time frame at the most, in my personal opinion. I also think that it is time, around that same time, we'll also see the inflation tamed if we were to believe the interest swap guys, and you can imagine how rapidly the stock price could raise in that event. However, before we get all excited, let us remember that CRISPR Therapeutics has burned through almost 500 million in 2021 itself, and soon we'll find out how much they spent in 2022, the cash burn rate. Overall, it seems that the cash in their balance sheet can tide over the cash runway for over 3 years at the current rate. If we assume that XSL gets approved and monetized before the end of this year, you have a cash-rich company with a broad pipeline and 3 more therapies in the clinical trials making good progress. I'm not considering VCTX210 as 3 separate therapies. I've just considered VCTX210 as one therapy, despite the fact that we have VCTX211 and 212 also in the same pipeline. So I'm taking a conservative approach out there. In my opinion. At this stage, it is important to point out that there has been overt display of confidence on part of Vertex, who is a partner with CRISPR for XSL. On a conference call this Thursday, 7th of February, the Chief Operating Officer of Vertex, Stuart Arbuckle, made some encouragingly bullish statements around XSLs. These included highlighting the network of 50 authorized treatment centers in the US and 25 in Europe as being sufficient for its sickle cell disease and TDT therapy candidate XSL. According to Arbuckle, Vertex has talked with all US state Medicaid agencies plus 150 US commercial payers and several health economic assessment bodies in Europe, including Britain's National Institute of Health and Care Excellence. So far, payers see XSL's clinical data as highly impactful, especially in its ability to reduce in-vasco occlusive events and hospitalizations. Now, this could also partly explain why Bluebird share prices are languishing a little bit of late. The amount of activity that Vertex has done seems to be phenomenal, and that more or less compensates for the naive status of CRISPR Therapeutics with regard to commercializing its first gene product. CRISPR is looking at a base of 32,000 patients in Europe and US combined. Of course, they will have to compete with Zynteglo, but I believe that CRISPR has a superior offering to Zynteglo. Zynteglo is made using AAV, whereas XSL is non-viral. Rather than using viral vectors to deliver functional HBB gene, the Vertex CRISPR therapy uses CRISPR to turn off the suppression of fetal hemoglobin and thus increase the amount of healthy hemoglobin in red blood cells. As per Reshma Keval-Ramani, who is the CEO of Vertex, submissions to FDA for XSL began in November 2022, and the agencies in both USA and Europe have validated the filings, leading Vertex to believe that they can complete a rolling submission by the end of March this year. Friends, rolling review, which means that a drug company can submit completed sections of its biologic license applications or new drug application or NDA for review by FDA, rather than waiting until every section of the NDA is completed before the entire application can be reviewed, is a very aggressive approach. This is an expedited way, in my opinion, of working through the FDA process. Also, let us remember that the FDA has already approved Zynteglo and has got more experience reviewing this class of therapy, and that's going to help CRISPR and Vertex to breeze through for XSL. Friends, if this is not bullish, what else could be a bullish stimulus for the market? Yet we see the market price of CRISPR languishing. If we look at the CRISPR Therapeutics pipeline, we can see that they have a bunch of therapies advancing through approval cycle. Recently, CTX110 advanced into a phase 2 study targeting CD19 plus B cell malignancies. In their press release at the end of 2022, they said, following discussions with regulatory agencies, the company has initiated a single-arm, potentially registrational trial of CTX110, which incorporates the consolidation dosing at DL4 and standard lymphodepletion. Dosing in this trial is expected to begin in early 2023 using drug product manufactured with a commercial-ready process and specification. Even though they have standard lymphodepletion methods, this is still a much better approach at this point of time given the problems that Magenta has run into. And CRISPR Therapeutics is also evaluating CTX130 in early stage clinical testing, targeting solid tumors and blood diseases. So overall, CRISPR Therapeutics and ViaCyte are also working towards together to test gene editing therapy VCTX210 in treating type 1 diabetes. Diabetes is a lucrative market and could add to the bottom line. Not only VCTX210, but CRISPR Therapeutics also has VCTX211 and 212. The latter, 212, is aimed at type 2 diabetes as well. So overall, I think CRISPR is in a very, very strong position. As per an article today in Motley Fool, CRISPR Therapeutics is a very attractive takeover target for big pharma. Next, let us look at the price chart for CRISPR Therapeutics. As per TipRanks, the price target for CRISPR is 91.38, as you would see here. And that's an upside of 79.25%. And if you were to look at the buy rating, it's a rating of 9, which is a strong buy. 7 analysts are saying buy, and 2 are saying hold, and no one is saying sell. And if we look at the price target, we are looking at a high of 143, average of 91.38, and low of 50. And that's the rate at which this share is being targeted. And now let's go and look at the price chart itself. Right now we are at 50.91, and if we were to look at the low target, it is 50.00. So we are almost at the low target out here. And if I was to go back into the price chart and start having a look at the big picture, so in the big picture, I could potentially see that we have a shoulder here, we have a head here, and we have the potential formation of another shoulder out here. And on the way back, it can blow through this diagonal line of resistance, which was the support for the previous bull channel. So that's one possibility out here. And if I was to look at where CRISPR Therapeutics was at one point of time, somewhere on 20th of July 2022, they were at 86.90. Since then, they have made a lot of progress, and definitely the share should be worth more. So I'm hoping that the stock market takes notice, the investors takes notice of the fact that CRISPR Therapeutics is such an attractive opportunity here. And the indecision that we see here today, it's a perfect doji candle out here with a very, very slim band of trading. I hope that indecision turns around. In terms of earning, we are looking at earnings today for CRISPR Therapeutics, where the earnings estimate is minus 2.312 for earnings per share, and revenue is estimated at 2.439 million. So I think the market is waiting for the earnings to drop in. I suspect the earnings is going to come later today after the market closes. So tomorrow we'll see what happens with the market. That's what explains the indecision. Personally, I'm quite bullish on CRISPR Therapeutics. And again, my friends, these are all my personal opinion, and this is how I'm thinking about the stock for my portfolio. Right now, I do not have any holdings of CRISPR, but I would definitely like to take an opportunity. If I had the money, I would definitely like to buy because these are attractive prices. So please do not consider this to be a financial advice. Consult your own financial planner or do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. But from my perspective, I think CRISPR looks really attractive at this point of time. And I would like to look forward to your opinions. Please put in the comments below what you think about CRISPR Therapeutics and whether you would be willing to invest in CRISPR Therapeutics at this level, and what's your price target for CRISPR Therapeutics. Give me some feedback, and it'll help me fine-tune my own approach. With that, I would like to bring this video to an end. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.